Hello, my name is Ronald Bratt and I'm the founder of Capital Debate. I want to thank all the students and parents for joining our 2020 Public Speaking and Debate League. This evening, I would like to introduce you to our staff, discuss the schedule, our weekend hours, tournaments, format, student responsibilities, our team composition, technology, and then we'll have a question and answer session. Our headquarters staff is here to make this an outstanding experience for our students. On the top row from left to right is myself, then Brian Fish, who many of you probably spoke with when signing up, and Brian will be here to provide customer support. Then Victor Ghazi, who oversees the technology in our company. Then Nancy Gurris, who handles all of our logistics and getting all the students the certificates for the camp and the league. Now let's look at the bottom row from left to right. We have Felipe Gazio, who will be here to help with setting up all the classes online, and he'll be troubleshooting any technology issues that you have. Next to him is John Gibson, who's in charge of human resources and makes sure that every instructor is not only competent, but has strong character and is here to make a difference in students' lives. Next to John is Kendall Reed, who will help with customer service. And finally, Amelia Peck, and she's the one who sets up all the Google Classrooms, rosters, and sets up the GoToWebinar rooms for the classes. Now, let's meet our coaches. As I introduce them, you'll see the extensive experience that they bring to the classroom. First is our senior debate coaches, starting with Terry Robinson from Austin, Texas, who has over 40 years of teaching and coaching experience. Next is Chris Ahern, who has taught English in New Jersey for over 40 years and coached his school's debate team. Under him is Dan Austin. He's been teaching social studies in New Jersey for over 10 years and has coached our club team for the last several years. On the next page, we have Jonathan Savoy, who teaches public speaking as a graduate assistant in Bob Jones University and was the 2015 South Carolina debate champion. Below him is Bojana, who is a university teacher of logic, philosophy, and theory, and a debate coach of the Serbian national debate team. Next is Dr. Ryan Rigda, who received his PhD from Texas A&M in communication studies and is now a debate coach and professor at Saginaw State University in Michigan. On the next page, we got Delaney Hurley. She's a debater at Harvard University. And interestingly, she's currently an intern for the Center for Applied Nonviolent Action and Strategies, an NGO founded by the people who overthrew the infamous dictator Milosevic. Now, Delaney will be creating training materials for activists around the world and conducting research on nonviolent social movements and human rights in 15 countries. What amazing work she's doing. Below her is Chuck McCarthy. He's an AP American history teacher with over 25 years of teaching experience, and he's been a club debate coach for the past 5 years. Let's go on to the next page. The next page is Jessica Davis. She's an English teacher with extensive experience in coaching and teaching debate, Model UN. Next comes Paul Neary, who was a highly ranked coach and debater and taught debate in Korea for 3 years after college and was the head coach of the University of Wyoming's debate team. Now, heading up our public speaking program is going to be Hope Arnold. Now, she started with us as early as 3rd grade at Loyola University at our day camp in Columbia, Maryland. She continued with our programs all the way through high school and then coaching with us throughout college when she was at Duquesne University, and now she's a graduate. Next is Emily Wingard, who was an award-winning speech competitor at West Orange High School in Orlando, Florida, and now a successful competitor in speech at the University of Central Florida. Finally, our assistant coaches are Zach Chow, nationally recognized debater in high school at American Heritage and now about to graduate from the University of Florida, and Nicole Sandoval, a nationally ranked debater, went in high school at West Orange High School in Orlando, Florida, and now she is a student at Florida State University. So that rounds up our entire amazing staff. Now let's look and what the following weeks will look like for our debate league. We will start next Tuesday evening with introducing the debate topic to all students. The coaches will give students a background lesson on the topic, and then they'll discuss potential directions for student research. During the second week, students will brainstorm pro and con arguments on the topic as a team with their coach. During that week, students will begin writing their cases. During the third week, students will start making a list of opposition arguments to their case and start drafting refutation arguments in response. During that week, students will write refutation briefs. Now, during the fourth week, students will discuss potential closing speeches and then start practice debates. The first tournament will follow on October 24th. After that, the students will receive a new topic and then follow the same sequence as above, leading up to the second tournament on November 22nd. Now, this is just a sample. Coaches do approach the sequence in different ways, like, any coach in any activity. Now, let's look at public speaking. The public speaking is for students 9 to 10 years old, preparing for a speech contest on November 22nd. So they have 8 weeks to write and perfect their speech. Students will start with selecting a speech. They'll come up with a topic, they'll research, outline, come up with a strong opening, then a memorable conclusion, and then write the main points with supporting materials, insert transitions, and then practice, practice, practice. Now let's discuss our weekend workshops and clinics for our debate league. Now this is only for debate league and not public speaking league. It is optional and extra, but I highly encourage this for all our debate students. You'll be shortchanging yourself in your preparation for the debate tournament, and you will lose out on gaining many valuable skills. We can almost always figure out at a tournament which students attended our weekend programming. Additionally, all students that are on the self-coaching track, this is a great opportunity for you to work with a coach. Now, many ask, what is the difference between the workshops and clinics? Well, workshops and elective lessons on a debate skill or more in-depth lessons on a topic would happen in the workshops. Clinics are not structured, and students will sign up to have a coach maybe review their cases or briefs and receive feedback. Students can also sign up for practice speeches and debates during the clinic. Both workshops and clinics occur on the same day from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll have an opportunity to mix and match, sign up for an elective class, and then get some time in with a coach. On the next slide is a schedule for all of our workshops and our clinics. We will be starting this PowerPoint and sharing it with parents and students so that you have the dates. This is very important. You must sign up for the weekend workshop by Wednesday before the weekend. We do have class size limits, and if something is really popular, we will open up another time and classroom for it. Additionally, only those that sign up will receive an invitation. It is the only way to access the GoToWebinar. So everyone will receive a Google form in the beginning of the week to sign up for the weekend hours. The next slide are the dates for the tournament, which are October 24th and Sunday, November 22nd. The tournaments are going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they're going to end around 6 p.m. But please leave some leeway, as sometimes the tournaments can fall behind and go just a little bit later. All students will have to register for the tournament on tabroom.com, which we will send instructions for, at least 2 weeks before the tournament starts. Now, the cost is covered in your registration. However, if you pull out of the tournament within less than a week before the tournament, your account will be charged $50. And if you're a no-show, your account will be charged $100. We have over 150 students, and running a tournament is nearly impossible without adequately planning numbers. So please, please, please cooperate with us on this matter. I'm sure we'll be okay. Now let's look at our debate format. Our debate format will be similar to this summer, one-on-one debate. Times will be 4-minute openings with each speaker being cross-examined after their speech, followed by a 3-minute refutation speech where debaters get to respond to their opponent's opening arguments, and then finishing with a 2-minute closing, which is your last chance to persuade the judge. Now, public speaking competitors will deliver an informative speech in the speech contest that will be 3 to 4 minutes. We'll have other events planned, such as an impromptu competition at that contest. All right, now on the next slide, big question students have is, all right, what will the judges be evaluating the debate students on at the tournament? The most important thing is, and I always say this presentation, that will be the highest amount of points. Students should present their speech extemporaneously off of a note card, one note card, and should not be reading their speech off the computer. They'll lose points for that. Speaking extemporaneously means the debaters, like I said, are going to be speaking off a note card, and it's not a memorized speech. The best speakers will have eye contact, they're going to use appropriate hand gestures, have vocal variety, and be articulate. Now, the second area you'll be evaluated in is logos. It's not just about quoting experts, but coming up with logical arguments. The next area is pathos. Does the debater use passion in their speeches? Do they make emotional appeals? Next evaluative tool is ethos, your credibility. Is the debater appearing confident and strong? We will next look at their refutation skills. Are debaters responding to their opponents in an orderly manner? And then we'll look at and the other areas we're going to look at your introduction. Was it catchy? Did it clearly state your claim? And did you preview your main points? Was your conclusion memorable and powerful? The next thing we'll look at in the evaluation of ballot is your argument comparison. Are you saying things like, all right, I argued X and my opponents argued Y, but my argument is better because, then the final area of evaluation is impact evaluation. For like this summer, my opponents argue that we have government regulations against misinformation on social media. But at what cost? Taking away our freedom of speech and rights that we fought so many wars to keep. So that would be an example of you doing some level of comparing misinformation or lies to freedom, and that'll be one of the last evaluative tools on the ballot. And these are the areas that coaches will continually work with students on during practice and weekend clinics. So how do we separate the teams, and what divisions will there be at tournaments? Well, first, we will split the league by age. This is how we're doing this area. One division is 12 and under. All students born on January 1, 2008 and later are in that division, 12 and under. The next division is 13 and over, which is all students born on December 31st, 2007 and earlier. We then separate the students by first-time Capital Debate students and returning students. If you've never taken a class with Capital Debate, even if it's not experience versus beginners, it's whether you've been in our program or not, you're going to focus on your skill sets. How to research, how to write a case, draft refutation briefs, and then you'll have practice debates and everything that will get you ready to see how our style works, and it'll prepare you for the tournament on November 22nd. Now, for the self-coached debaters, you will have access to our library, which will have a video analysis on the topic and articles on the topic. So please take advantage of that. Now, how is the team created? So you have a group of 6 to 8 students. Now, everyone knows, typically I take a class and I sort it by age, and I split it right where I hit 8 or 6, depending on how many students. But in the league, we want to create balanced teams, that work together as a team to get ready for the tournament. So teams are going to have 6 to 8 students. So in the 13 and older league, you might have 2 students that are 13 years old, 2 that are 14 years old, and a 15 and a 16-year-old. Now, sometimes you might even have a 14-year-old student who has been with us for 3 years already and have a 16-year-old that is only in their second year. But there's always different ages in any group and even in high school sports, and everyone needs to come together to work as a team to be able to prepare for the tournament, even though you're all going to be debating as individuals. My final area that I would like to discuss is student responsibilities. Obviously, showing up is a minimum. And you have to know, if you miss a class, you're going to fall behind, and that's going to hurt the entire team, and that's going to push everyone's progress back. And if you participate, please participate, contribute to the strategy sessions and discussions. Have this be a two-way street. And most importantly, in our league, being respectful to others in class and be respectful and civil in debates. You know, we're not just about producing robot debaters, we're about producing people with good character, good advocates. We are thrilled to have you part of our league for quarter one. Our coaches are here to help you prepare for the tournament, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, the debater, to put the time in to prepare. I would like to go ahead and introduce to you our next speaker, and that'll be Brian Fish.
We're starting another season of our Club Debate League. This is one of my favorite times, as it's really designed to have these kids put their skills to use, to really show us what they've got. And this is always an amazingly fun time for the kids to be involved in this type of program. So to talk a little bit more about the tech requirements, of what is needed here to participate, I'm going to go through a few slides about what requirements are needed, and then we're going to go over login information and things like that to get ready for next week. So to start off with our tech requirements, we do ask that everybody to please use a laptop computer or a desktop computer. Laptops will typically have a web camera and microphone built in. Desktops usually do not. So please make sure that if you are going to be using a desktop computer, that you do have a webcam, microphone, and external speakers all ready to go for this. It's very important that we can see and hear you and that you can hear us. The other thing is also a good internet connection. We are going to be streaming these classes over the internet. So we want to make sure that students have a strong, dedicated connection so they can participate throughout the full extent of the program. All right, some best practices here. One thing I recommend is reducing the bandwidth. If you have multiple screens, multiple windows, multiple devices all taking the internet, it is going to increase your bandwidth. So we do ask that you please limit what devices and everything that's using the internet to ensure that you're able to run this smoothly and have everything up on the screen. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, please stay close enough to the router in order to get a good signal. If you know your Wi-Fi is on one side of the house, don't be all the way over on the other side of the house. If possible, please make arrangements to be as close to your router as possible. Also, close any background applications that might be eating up the bandwidth. If you have other applications running on your computer, if iTunes is up, if you have 3 internet browsers, if you've got, videos playing in the background, please make sure that all of those are closed down when joining the class. That will greatly increase your ability to participate with us. Also, make sure that you're signed out of any other any other Gmail account that's not your Capital Debate account. I'll talk a little bit more later when we go over the slides pertaining to your Capital Debate email students that we're going to send to all of you later this evening. So just please make sure, just to note, that when you are signing into your Capital Debate account, that you are logged out of any other Gmail accounts that you have associated with your personal information. We also, just like reducing the bandwidth and closing the applications, we also ask you to please limit the windows that you have open. You don't need 16 browsers. You don't need 5 tabs on each. Please just make sure that you are closing out the information in all of the browsers' extra windows. One important thing I did also want to mention regarding the laptops and desktops actually is the GoToWebinar software that we use will only work properly to share video, to do all this on a desktop or laptop that has either a Windows operating system or a Mac operating system. Chromebooks and Linux devices unfortunately do not have the capability to download the GoToWebinar application to be able to view and see and share your web camera. So we do ask everybody to please have a laptop or a desktop that's Windows or Macintosh operating system. What we have on the screen here is going to be a technology trial class that we're going to be hosting on Monday. So Monday, September 21st from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have our technology trial class. What this is it's a time for your students to log in very briefly. They're not there for the full 3 hours. They're just there maybe 5 minutes to make sure that there's no connection problems, that we're able to see them on their web camera, we're able to hear them through their microphone or their headset, that they are able to log into their Google account and accept the invitations, and really anything else that you might need. Felipe Gazio, who you saw in our headquarters staff, he's going to be participating in the tech trial. He's going to be helping out your students. Even if you've been a part of the Capital Debate program in the past, we highly recommend you joining our technology trial class. We always know who hasn't, because the ones that show up to class on Tuesday or Wednesday and are having issues usually have not participated in our tech trial. All right, so 5 steps before Monday, before the tech trial. First things first, add your Capital Debate email to your Google account. I'll go over that here in a few minutes. 2 is to accept the invitation from your Capital Debate email to the technology trial classroom. I'm going to show you in a few minutes what that invitation looks like. The 3rd is to attend the technology trial. It says Thursday, my apologies, Monday from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when this tech trial will be. Accept the invitation to your Google Classroom from your Capital Debate email. The Google Classroom, we're going to go over in more detail here in a second, is going to be where everything lives. You're going to have an invitation to your classroom, as well as an invitation to the tech trial sent to you in your Capital Debate email. And then also, link anything that's needed to be linked to your Google Classroom account, Google Documents, your email address, everything that you need to make sure that you're able to participate successfully on Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so the Google platform, this is what we use here at Capital Debate to host all of our classes, our camps, our Club League programs. This is going to be everything that we need to use and for you to be successful come next week. So the first thing to talk about is going to be Gmail. Gmail is actually the service that we're using to create your students' Capital Debate email addresses. Later this evening, after the orientation, Capital Debate will be emailing you over all of your login information for your classes next week. So please keep an eye on your email, in your email accounts later this evening, parents, as we will be sending all of this information directly to your email address for your student to be logged in. Students, if you've participated with us for the virtual summer camps, the login information and process is exactly the same. If for any reason you're not able to log in using an old password, please try the password of Debate 2020, which will be sent out to everybody's emails as the default password. So with these Gmail accounts, you're going to go to gmail.com. You're going to sign out of any other Gmail account that you are currently signed into before logging into your Capital Debate account. We ask you to do this because it's always going to default back to your personal email address when accessing Google Classroom, when accessing our Google Documents. So we want to make sure that you're not getting any cannot view because of privacy issues, or you don't have permissions because you're using your personal Gmail account and not your Capital Debate Gmail account. So again, just to reiterate, please make sure you're logging out of your Gmail accounts before using your Capital Debate email. Right, and next slide here. Google Classroom. This is a very, very powerful tool that we use. Google Classroom is the portal that all students pretty much are going to be living inside of when it comes to these Club Debate League programs. This is where assignments will be posted, work is turned in, how you can email your other students in class with you if you have questions for them, how you can email and get in touch with your instructor. This is going to be your main portal. I like to say it's similar to like a social media wall or the main posting area, because you can send messages, you can post to the whole entire platform. This is going to be the most powerful tool that we have here, and students are going to use this and log into it every single day that they have class with their Capital Debate email addresses. All right, now Google Docs. We utilize Google Docs as our word processing program for the Club Debate League and really any of our other programs because of the multitasking capability that it has. If you're familiar with Microsoft Word, you know how to use Google Documents. It's exactly the same. It's very, very, very similar. The reason why we use Google Documents over Microsoft Word is because of the collaboration abilities that it gives us. You can share this document with your instructor and they can give you real-time feedback as you're working on the document. Rather than saving a draft and sending it and them saving it and sending it back to you, it's a living document. So you can edit it, the instructor can make comments and feedback. You know, you can share this document with another individual in your class. You can work on the document together. It's so powerful. The kids have really loved using Google Documents. It's very simple. It's very easy to use. All right, so now is GoToWebinar. GoToWebinar is the platform that we host all of our virtual classes and meetings on, same platform that we're using today to host this orientation. What you're going to see a little bit differently compared to the email that you may have received to join this orientation is that students, you're going to be invited as a panelist to your GoToWebinars each and every week. The panelist means that you're able to share your web camera and microphone. You're going to be receiving this email in your email addresses, and you're going to click Join Webinar each and every week to participate and join in on that weekly meeting. Very simple, very easy. Accept the invitation, hit Join Webinar, and you're good to go. And now I want to talk a little bit about the control panel. You know, as students are going to be sharing their web cameras and microphones and working and talking with the other students and the instructor, we want to talk a little bit about the control panel interface that you're going to see when using GoToWebinar. So to start off with, the image that you see on the right, number one is going to be very simple, your microphone. Turn your microphone on, turn your microphone off. Two is your camera. Same thing, turn your camera on, turn your camera off. Number three is going to be screen sharing. So if for any reason your coach asks you to share your screen, present your work, you're going to use number three to share a window, share a tab, or share your whole entire desktop. Four is going to be changing your camera preferences. So if you have, let's say, a webcam that's built into your laptop, but you love using your external webcam, that'll allow you to change your webcam back and forth. It'll allow you to turn your web camera on and off as well. Anything webcam related will live under, of course, the webcam section to help you change your preferences. Five is going to be for your audio. That's going to allow you to check that your microphone is working because you'll see that the little level bar is going to increase as you talk. And then as somebody else is talking, the bottom part is going to be the speaker showing that the audio is coming to you. So if you are not able to hear anybody, yet you do see that that level is going up and down, there's something that we need to work through for your technology issues. If you do see the level moving, you can hear everybody, you're good to go. All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the decorum for our Club Debate League. As Ron mentioned, we do want to make sure that we're sharing our camera. It is very, very important that every student that's logged into their weekly team meeting is sharing their web camera. We need to see you. We need to hear you. We need to work through this, Club Debate League program with you. And we can only do so if we can see you. We really feel that by seeing you, we can work with you on your presentation abilities, your eye contact, your nonverbal communication. It's extremely important for our instructors to be able to see the students to work through these skill sets. I also want to mention, please don't share your personal email. We have assigned every student a capital debate email address. For Club League purposes, we do ask that you keep your communications within your Club Debate League email addresses. Please do not share your personal email addresses for privacy reasons. If the program is over, you'd love to share your information to stay in contact with your teammates because you become such great friends. At that point in time, it is okay to do so, but we do please ask that you not share your personal emails. The other thing is your environment. Be conscious of what's around you when working on the web camera for these Club League classes. Make sure you're limiting your background noise. If the gardener comes later in the evening, don't sit next to the window that you know the gardener is going to be mowing the lawn at. If there's a game show that the family loves watching at that time and there's bells and whistles, please sit away from the TV. We want you to be aware of your background noise and limit the additional noise that's happening, as it's going to disrupt the classroom experience. We also ask that you please sit at a desk or a table. We find that students tend to be more attentive and participating a little bit more when they're in a desk or a chair or some sort of setting like that, sitting at the dinner table rather than lounging in bed, sitting in a big comfy chair. Part of what we want to do is going to involve your body language, and we do really do appreciate students that are able to participate the right way and show the correct body language. Just like we mentioned with the limiting background noise, be aware of your surroundings, make sure your lights are turned on, make sure that there's nothing inappropriate or disruptive going on around you. You're going to be on your web camera, you're going to be on your microphone. Please be conscious of everybody else that's also participating. The other thing is the dress code. We do ask that you please don't wear anything appropriate. Think of it as school. Anything that you would not wear to school, please don't wear to these team meetings. We also ask that you don't wear your pajamas. Shorts, t-shirt, things like that, absolutely okay. We want you to be comfortable. But for these weekly meetings, you're going to be participating with other students. You're going to be sharing your web camera. We want you to look your best. Dress code also for the tournament, something I did want to address. We do ask that for the tournaments to please be wearing business formal attire. We don't need you to wear a full suit, but we do ask you to please wear a collared shirt, slacks, a dress, a skirt, something to look your best. This is your time to compete, to show off these skills that you've learned, to hopefully win the debate tournament. And we want you to not only sound your best, but to also look your best as well. All right. Now we're at our question and answer period. So I'd like to welcome Ron back onto the screen here for our questions and answers. Parents.
Well, first I'd like to. Oh, go ahead, Brian. I wanted to introduce the staff first, as I promised.
Well, one thing, Ron, real quick, before we start introducing the staff, I just want to mention the question bubble. So while we're doing this, parents can start asking their questions. So you'll see right now parents and students in the portal that you're on to view this. On the right-hand side, there'll be kind of a question mark and a speech bubble. That's to our questions section. That'll allow you to ask me questions, ask Ron questions, so we can spend the rest of this webinar making sure you have everything that you need to be ready for next week.
Great. I'm going to read these, and our staff to come on. I've given you a little bit about their bio, but if they can pop on the screen with me and say hello, and it's not by any seniority or anything that I'm reading these names to come on. It's the list that's right as you appear in my panel here. So, well, actually, the first one is Chris Ahern. Chris, you want to come on here and say hello?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Ahern. I live in New Jersey, and I've been with the company. Ron already, of course, told you a little bit about me, and I've been with the company for a number of years now. And one thing I can say is it really is a pleasure to work with your children and with the kids, because you guys really combined a professionalism, hard work ethic, combined with just a competitiveness that's just infectious and just a wonderful to be around. So I'm looking forward to meeting all the kids, and I just think it's going to be a wonderful experience.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. It's great having you on our team. Next on the list that I see here is Emily Wingard. She's in the public speaking program. Emily, you want to pop in here?
Yeah, I would love to. Hi, guys. My name is Emily Wingard. I live in Florida, and I've had the pleasure of being able to work with Capital actually all summer long during their summer camp, and I just loved it so much that I had to come back when given the chance. I'll say it time and time again, the kids that are proactive in attending these camps and attending these classes are some of the most hardworking, driven students I've ever seen. And so for me to have the opportunity to help them find and foster their natural public speaking skills is always such a pleasure, and I am greatly looking forward to doing it with your kids this fall.
Thank you. Next on that list, Gabby, would you like to come on here? Gabby Gruber?
Hi,
Hi,
Ron.
Gabby.
Thanks for having me. My name is Gabby Gruber. I currently live in Milwaukee, where I teach and am part of Teach for America. I have worked with Capital all summer long and now am doing the club debate this year for the first time. I'm incredibly excited to work with your young people and get to see them grow and shine. Like Emily, I had a fantastic experience this summer, and the kids who are coming to Capital Debate and working really work incredibly hard, and ultimately we see them flourish into incredible young people who know how to use their voice in ways that are going to truly change the world. And I can't wait to be part of this team again.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Next, I want to introduce to you Jessica Davis. Thank you,
Hi,
Jessica.
everyone. My name is Jessica Davis. I have been a teacher for about, 7 years now. I am an English teacher. I have taught in both high school and middle school, and I have been coaching debate for equally as long. I love coaching debate. I love seeing students get so passionate about issues that most adults don't even spend time thinking about. And they spend that time learning how to research, and all of those skills are just, it's so transferable to their academic careers in general, even if they don't find that they have a passion for debate. It is such good education that they are getting in these classes that I just love teaching them. And I'm pretty confident your kids are going to love debate too. So I'm looking forward to this upcoming Capital Debate League year.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Next up, can we have Paul Neary? Can you come on?
Yeah, howdy.
Hey,
I'm
Paul.
Paul. I was teaching at the University of Wyoming before this, but I've always just really enjoyed debate and debating and teaching folks how. It's done a lot for me in my life. I've traveled all over the world because I learned debate. So hopefully your students will really enjoy joining this community with us, because it's a really awesome community. The debate community is.
Great. Thank you, Paul. Next, can I have Dr. Ryan Rigda?
Hi there, Ron. I'm sorry I don't have my camera. I joined on my
Oh, that's
phone.
okay.
But hi, everyone. It's great to meet all of you. I'm Dr. Rigda. I'm a professor of communication at Saginaw Valley State University in Michigan, and I'm happy to be back with Capital Debate this year. I just want to say this is a wonderful time for students to be learning debate, everything that's going on in our society, our worlds. They couldn't have picked a better skill to have. And as a professor, I want to say that this is probably the best thing that they can do to prepare for college. It's never too early to think about that. And this is a skill that's going to go far beyond the classroom, but also think about the doors it's going to open for them and the opportunities that they'll have in college and beyond. So good luck this semester, everyone, and hope to meet you soon.
Thank you, Dr. Rigda. I appreciate it. Next is Zach Chow.
Hey everybody, my name is Zachariah and I am at the University of Florida right now. I'm a political science and journalism 5th year, and I started in the summer as well. So I'm a person who is a very good example of the skills that speech and debate can benefit you throughout high school and college. So outside of this, I serve as the opinions editor for the Independent Florida Alligator. I'm also a freelance writer writing in the New York Times, the Guardian, and I'm also even an admissions reader for the University of Florida's honors program. So even though I don't debate as much as I used to in the college realm, these skills, these essential writing and speaking skills benefit me basically every day. Also research as well. So yep, I had a great time this summer, so I'm back for the fall, and I just really love to work with students. I actually had I was in speech therapy as a kid, so if anyone can make that like arc to greatness, I believe that all your kids can take that same path that I did as well.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that, Zach. I appreciate it. I do want to make a note to all the parents, because I know this will be one of the things that is on everyone's mind. Registration was open till yesterday. It's closed now. So we are now finalizing all the class assignments. If you put early on yours, I mean, obviously everyone's going to get the night that they selected, so you rest assured of that. If you picked early, then you'll get one of the 2 early classes, 7 or 8. If you pick later, you'll get 8. Most likely 8. Some will get 9, but you will later. People will not get the 7 o'clock time slot. So I think it'll work out. People will get the choices that they wanted. With that, I want to invite Brian Fish back on here.
All righty, thanks, Ron. So we're going to start going through here some of your questions while we provide our answers. One thing I did want to mention is I do actually see quite a bit of the same question coming in about the technology trial time on Monday, that it's not conducive as the kids are in school. I did want to let everybody know that after speaking with Felipe just now, we have gone ahead and adjusted that technology trial class to be between 4 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. Yeah. So we will be sending out an email later this evening with that information. It's going to include your students' login information, the time for their class, everything that you need to be successful for next week. So with that, let's start taking some questions here. So I do have one question, Ron, for a student about the tournament. If they're not able to participate for the whole tournament, should they attend?
Yes, we want you to get, it's not preferable, but if circumstances, if there's something that's really conflicting and you really want to do it, then we'll make it happen. I always want to make sure that kids get some debates, but if it gets, to be too many, then we won't be able to do it, because 99% of the people need to be there the whole tournament.
All right, and Ron, can you talk one more time about how students sign up for these weekend workshops and clinics?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and each week, probably in the beginning of the week, we're going to send a Google form out. It'll be a link, and it will list all of, and the time slots, all of the coaches that are going to be doing clinic that weekend that are able to, look at your case, or you could do a practice speeches in front of them. And then we'll also have a list of lessons, extra lessons that, we're providing on that weekend. And you can sign up for there. We'll get the Google form. The Google form will close on Wednesdays, and then you'll get an invitation probably on Friday. Go to webinar, and you'll be able to pop in there on the time. But we do ask, if you do sign up, because we do close these out when they fill up, and we have to create another class, that please show up. Don't sign up just to hold a spot.
Perfect. Thanks, Ron. We have a question from a parent asking if anything for this whole year, not just Q1, is going to be in person. Are we going to be moving to in-person tournaments later? How are we looking at not just Q1, but for the rest of the season for the league?
Yeah, the rest of the season everything, because I didn't want to have any doubt, will be virtual all the way through nationals. And then obviously we are very hopeful that we'll have camp in the summer again, and then we'll be back to in-person tournaments. But this year it'll be virtual.
All right, and for these the weekly workshops, Ron, what's the time frame that we're going to host these at? Excuse me, I'm sorry, that's probably not the right way to ask this question. What's the duration of each workshop? Is it 1 hour long, a half an hour long, 2 hours long? What are we looking like for that?
Yeah, if someone gives like a lesson on economics, for example, because it's an economic topic, usually it'll be an hour time slot. That's what 95% of them will be.
All right, and I have a question here from one of our self-coaching students. They want to know if the materials that they have access to are the same as the materials that the team member students have access to.
You'll have access to what's in the library, but it will be articles. Any articles that I find and I share with the coaches will be in there. We'll do a video topic analysis you'll have access to, but the notes that are used in the class and anything used in the class, those are for the full membership people. Anything during the weekend is open to you. Anything that we have, you have full access to.
All right, perfect. And I'm going to take this next question here, Ron. I have a family asking about their tablet, and they want to know why we don't recommend using a tablet. One of the things that we always say is your student's going to be multitasking during their team meeting, meaning that they're going to have their web camera up on the screen, they're going to have their Google document opened up here, they're going to have their research that they're doing right here. They may have a speech that, they're reviewing for a partner in class right here. So, because there's going to be so many things going on at once while the students are in class like that, tablets just don't have the ability to do that. And we find that it severely slows the students down, having to minimize an application, to jump to do another, to minimize another, to go into another. So we do recommend that students to please use a laptop or a desktop style device. You're not going to have the same abilities using a tablet, an iPhone, an Android device when going through the program. All right. And I have a question here, Ron. Parent wanted to know the weekend clinics and workshops, are those going to be one-on-one with the instructors, or are we going to be doing those in group settings?
It'll be one-on-one with the instructor in the sense that they'll work with one student at a time. So if there's an hour's time slot, let's say Chris Ahern is available between 2 and 3, we'll limit the number of students probably to 4 to 6 people who can sign up, and then you'd have to first come, first serve, and then you would sign up with any one of our coaches. So basically they'll be able to get to everyone during the hour and kind of work one-on-one with everyone during that hour period. And they have a way of bringing everyone in too, but that's how it will work.
Okay. And let's see here. There's a question about the tournaments here. How many debate rounds do students typically have at one tournament?
Well, it's going to depend on the size. More often than not, the way we've been running our tournaments, and we will continue to do that, is you have 4 preliminary debates. If time permits, then we will go into a semis and finals at that tournament. Otherwise, we will just, by points, we'll be able to give awards for the first place team, second place team. So again, it depends on how many people register and how big the tournament is. So we'll let you know then. But everyone at the tournaments will get four debates in at a minimum.
All right. And let's see here. We have a question about students that did the public speaking and debate 101 camp this week, and they also did debate 201. Are they considered new members, or are those considered returning members? Could you maybe clarify what categorizes one as new and one as returning?
That you're considered a returning member. If you only did 101, then we identify you, and we do put you with the returners, but we'll have some people work, either we'll cluster people together, and so the teacher can kind of review things from 201. That's probably how we're going to work it. There's not that many people who fall in that category, but there's a lot, so if you were with us in 101 and 201, then you're considered a returning debater.
All right. Could you go over one more time, Ron, the structure of the debate or the format of the debate?
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be one-on-one. Now, they'll have a 4-minute opening, each speaker, and then when you're done with your speech, the other side will get to cross-examine you, and then you get 2 minutes of refutation. So you have to respond to the other team's arguments that they make against you, and then you'll have the final part of the debate, which will be the closing, and you'll have 2 minutes. The debates usually take about 25 minutes. Now you do get what we call 2 minutes of preparation time, which you can use throughout the whole debate. You might take 1 minute of preparation before your refutation, and then a minute of preparation before your closing, or take both before the closing. But you're free to use it as you see fit. Now, as a team, so for quarter one, if you're assigned to, let's say, the Chuck McCarthy team, again, there's 6 to 8 people in there. What we'll do is you're still a team. And so in debate tournaments, you compete by yourself. So based on your record, you can, become first place or make it to finals. But at the end, we have what's called a sweepstake award. and we will honor the teams that had the best performing debaters as an overall. So that's why we constructed that way in that format, because we want to create that community and we want to create that teamwork, even though it's a one-on-one debate.
All right. And I have a question here from a parent regarding, let's see here. If I have other previous non-capital debate experience in debate, would they be considered a new student or a returning student?
Now you'd be considered a new student. Again, the label's not experienced or beginner. The way we do debate and the way we do public speaking it's our own nuances and things that we really want to make sure that everyone in the debate league has. You know, if you've been to another program, they might have done an intro different than a closing. They might have done the main points differently. They might have had different expectations of what happens in a refutation. So basically consider it like your intro to our club, intro to our league. But we have plenty of kids who come in with experience, but you're going to be put together with other people who this is your first semester being with Capital Debate.
All right, and actually this next question, Ron, I'm going to take here. It's about the technology trial class on Monday. We have a family asking if they need to be involved in the full 3 hours of the technology trial. Short answer, no. What we're going to be doing for the tech trial is literally just making sure that your student, their web camera works, their microphone works. By logging into the tech trial, we know that they have access to their email. We know that they know how to accept the GoToWebinar invitation to join. So it's literally logging in maybe 5 minutes at the most if you have no issues, just making sure that Felipe can see and hear you. Once he gives you the thumbs up, you're good to continue on the rest of your day. You'll be in there maybe 5 minutes at the most in the tech trial just to make sure everything's working correctly. All right, and I know we're kind of getting here. It's that 8 p.m. Eastern hour, 5 p.m. Pacific. So, you know, to be conscious of everybody's time here, we've just got a couple more questions that we're going to take before we end this evening. Let's see here. I actually have a bunch of parents asking right now if we're going to be sending a copy of the slideshow and a recording of this webinar to everybody. Some parents weren't able to make it. Thank you, Ron. Yes, we will. We will be sending over a recording of the webinar as well as the slideshows to everybody. The recording of the webinar may take us about a day to get processed and uploaded correctly, but we will make sure that you do have all of this information sent over here to you today. All right. Let's see here. And you know what? It looks like that is our last question.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic. I want to thank all the students and the parents that attended this evening. We will be sending out a tape of this session. In case you weren't here for the whole thing, we'll be sending the PowerPoint also. Let us know. We're here in the office. If you have any questions, please contact us. We have amazing coaches that have been preparing, and they are so excited to start the 2020-2021 season. By the end of the week, you'll find out, you know, what class and what time you're in, and I think you'll find out the topic in that class, and we're excited. We really look forward to working with everyone. I want to thank all my staff that did have the opportunity to attend. We have very busy staff, so not all of them were able to make it, but those who did, I really do appreciate it, and you will learn that they are really dedicated 150%. I mean, these are our top coaches that are working with us in our league. So, Brian, if there's no other questions and no other announcements, we will say good evening to the parents, and we look forward to talking with you again real soon. Thank you, and have a wonderful
Thank you, everybody.